Well, um, it's another live session, and I'm so excited to be coming on your screens to share, the lessons as we learn or as I am learning. Not just to um because learning never ends anyways. You keep learning. Nobody knows it all. Even if you have a certificate about an area of specialty, learning continues. Okay, so I just said that to say, as I am learning, I'm so much happy and eager to share so that we can all learn and be better together. So as you can see in the topic, what I am going to be discussing today is empathy. I actually wanted to talk about, the pillars of relationships, some of the things that are very essential for a relationship to thrive. All right. And I'll first probably talk about the very common ones that probably you've heard before. One of them is trust. There is no relationship without trust. If there is no trust to a particular thing, a particular goal in the first place, if there is no trust between two people, it's almost impossible for you to commit to a particular thing together. Okay, so that commitment is another topic entirely, but before you can be committed, you need to have trust. That's not even between just two people. Also, even if you're a brand influencer, you're a content creator, you do something in the public space, it takes time for people to trust you, to know that okay, you are committed to this particular thing, you are willing to give out quality, you are willing, to give out content, to give out something that is of value to people, and it takes time to build that trust. And in one of my videos, I had said it before that trust is very vital and it is very fragile, because the moment it is broken, sometimes it takes a long time to be rebuilt again, and that is even if you are lucky enough for it to go back to what it used to be. So trust takes time to build. So I'm talking about the pillars of relationship. Trust takes time to build, and you have to be committed, to that relationship or to your role in a relationship for for people to trust who you are and what you can do. And you have to be able to do it over and over, which leads us to commitment. Commitment is, you being able to stand up to your role, whether you feel like it or not. That is commitment. Commitment will make you go above and beyond to get something delivered. Okay, even when it is not convenient, even when you would rather do other things, or when you are not paid for it. Commitment will make you stay and do a particular thing over and over. And there is no relationship that can survive without commitment. You have to be committed. Whether, like I said, it could be like maybe in a public space, maybe a content creator, or maybe it is in your marriage or in friendship or even in your job. You have to be committed. Even in your job, you will know the people that are very committed to the job or to the office goals, and you are just willing to just come, get salary and go. So there is always the difference, and your employers know the difference whether they tell you or not. Your leaders, your team leads, they all know the difference whether they tell you or not. So your commitment will go a long way in making you presentable as one who is committed to the goal, or making you presentable as one who is willing to make the goal achievable, to achieve the goal. And yeah, that's about commitment. Another thing is being what's the word, being reliable. Ability to rely on you to deliver. Reliability is also like trust, because when people know that she's going to do this, or I can do my part of the job, I don't have to overstretch myself to see what she's doing or what he's doing. I know she's doing her part of the job. So that's also reliability. That is trust. Also, communication. That's like an essential part of even relating with yourself. You have to communicate. You have to be able to, let the other person into your mind space, into what you are doing, into, because people cannot read your mind from the outside. They can't probably guess with your body language, with the way you carry yourself and things like that, but they cannot see your mind just by looking at you on the outside. People can only assume, they can only get, probably because of the knowledge of what they know you can do, or probably your pattern of thinking, of thoughts. They can only guess, they cannot see into you. Okay, so your mind does not have the ability to pronounce itself verbally. You have to be able to communicate, what things, what you feel, okay, and also be able to be communicated to. It is not just enough to be able to communicate, you also have to learn how to be communicated to. You need to know how to, how to receive information. So it's a thing that it's one thing that people know how to talk to you. It's another thing for people to know how you receive the information, which people cannot know except you yourself know how to be communicated to. You need to learn, because we stress so much on communication that we only tell people to learn how to communicate outside of themselves. We don't teach people to to learn how to be communicated to. Okay, this is what I love, this is how I want to be treated, and in this manner, and this is how it makes me feel. Okay, and also probably somebody has done something, you don't like it, communicating your feelings, and also receiving another person's feeling, or another person's information from their minds is another thing, which is leading me to the very important topic that I'm going to be talking about today, which is empathy. When I learned, it was just this week that I was speaking with a friend and he was talking to me about empathy. I felt like I knew what it means to be empathetic until this, my friend, just said something about being empathetic, and it actually made another level of sense to me. So empathy is not just putting yourself while essentially empathy is putting yourself in another person's shoes, and understanding from their own perspective. However, sometimes it is not practical enough in every situation, because sometimes the basic thing, or the most important pillar of relationships, essential relationships, one-to-one relationships, is being empathetic. And I feel like even people in corporate situations have learned this. I know that is why some of the offices that we have today, such as customer care, customer service centers, human relations departments, they are based on empathy, because you can see from the lens of another person. And also, I want to also talk about sacrifice, but I feel like empathy is very important, especially in a marital relationship, because that's like the personal experience that I had. Okay, so sometimes it takes you suppressing, that particular feeling or your fears, because sometimes our feelings are based on fears, not even on what has happened, but what you are trying to prevent from happening. So while you have a particular feeling about maybe a project or something, not because of something that has happened at all, probably that's not even, you know, um, probably that's not even happened at all. Sorry, a comment just distracted me. Thank you. Um, thank you for that. Ronnie Diggy. I don't know how to pronounce that. So yeah. So probably it has not even happened. But because of the fear of something, you have pictured something in your mind, and you feel like this is the way it has to go, or this is the way things have to go. so that you will be at peace, so that you will be successful, so that you will not be angry, so that and then if it doesn't go that way, you start getting agitated, you start getting anxious, you think that things are going out of your control. And human beings naturally, we want to be in control of things happening around us. Adults, all the human beings, we want to be in control of things happening around us. So when things are not going the way you have programmed it to go, you know, sometimes practically it is hard to remember these things. However, you need to be able to understand that things will not always go the way you have visioned them. And also, your vision sometimes might not be based on probably the way things have happened in the past, or the way probably your spouse has even done something that you are processing your thoughts after, or maybe your spouse has even done something that you feel like, oh, this is something that is going to repeat itself. It might not even be that at all. It might just be because, oh, maybe something has happened to somebody, and then you feel like, this story is cooking up to this thing, and then you start getting agitated and anxious. You're not even seeing from your spouse's point of view, you're not seeing from your friend's point of view, and then it starts becoming, oh, it's not going my way, your way that is actually not based, on a standard or a strong foundation. So empathy is actually calming yourself, calming your feeling, or letting go of your feeling, which is the part of the sacrifice I wanted to talk about. Letting go of your feeling, not because you are discarding it, but because you choose to want to see from the other person's point of view practically. You want to be practical about seeing from another person's point of view. Like, okay, in this particular thing, I feel like, let's say a very common example of issues that happen mostly in marriages, children, the amount of children you want to have. Probably, so your husband wants 3 children, and then you, the wife, you want 2 children, and then you feel like, oh, why does he want 3 children? Why is he not even looking at the way my body has been changing? Why is not While communication can, solve a lot of problems of people assuming for themselves, especially in relationships. Like, this, communicate, this is what I feel, this is how I feel, and let the other person know how you feel. However, while you're communicating, try to also see from the lenses, because sometimes we communicate not to understand the other person. We communicate because we just want to let things out of our minds. So communicate to understand, communicate to see from this other person's point of view. Like, okay, so now he's saying that he wants 3 children. What informed that perspective? Why does he want 3 children? Why is he saying that, this is what he wants? Why does he want that particular car? Why does he want us to live in that city? And try to understand deeply what this person is all about, why they have decided, or not even decided, why they want this particular thing. Why does he want to do another course when he knows that we can't even pay our mortgage? Why does he want to buy another car when he knows that I have to sponsor my sister in school? These are like the things that you necessarily have to communicate. If you are with somebody, not even only marital relationship or romantic relationships, if you have a friend that you can't sit down and really express your mind respectfully, like letting them see where you are coming from, because sometimes what happens, or when we have a mindset, it's not only about a particular situation. That mindset is actually informed by a number of events that have happened, which it will take another set of events to erase that mindset in case it is a wrong one. Because, for instance, somebody that grew up and witnessing domestic abuse, it will take the longest of the series of events, knowledge on learning, to know that it is not a healthy state to live in. So sometimes empathy, when we wear the hat of empathy, it can help you understand that people having different views or different mindsets is not because they want to be wicked. Because sometimes when another person has another mindset, as apart from what we know or what we believe. We think that this person is being wicked. We start associating negative feeling towards people, not intentionally, but because you feel like this person is intentionally not saying from your own point of view. It becomes an offense to you, because offense built mostly on, it is built mostly on the differences between human beings. This person is not doing the wrong thing, the other person is not doing the wrong thing, but because we do not see from each other's perspective, empathy is missing. That word empathy is missing, and the action of empathy is missing. We decide not to see from the other person's point of view, which will make the relationship a very difficult place to be. Empathy is a big action word. Is an action word that if you don't intentionally learn it, now it can be hard, because we all have our lives to live. We all have something bothering us all the time. We all have a mindset. We all have something to prove. We want to prove to people that I know how to talk, I know how to dress, and whether consciously or unconsciously, we usually bring other people's perspective into our mindset or into our actions, whether we realize it or not. However, especially when it comes to achieving a particular goal, for instance, having a beautiful marriage, having a beautiful friendship, you need to learn how to be empathetic, how to suppress feelings, how to understand where your feelings are coming from. Most importantly, like, why am I feeling this way? Why do I feel like my money is my money, his money is our money? I cannot spend my own money on the family affairs. However, it is his responsibility, and only his responsibility, to take care of all of us in the family. Why do you think that way? Because when you look at a baby, when a baby is born, they are born with practically no set of belief. They are just like a plain canvas. But gradually, when they start growing up, even from the first day that they are born, they can look into the mother's eyes. They can see fear. They can see happiness. They can see joy. They can relate with the non-verbal things, that even the verbal things. They can hear your voice. They know what you mean. When you say you love them, they can see it practically in your attitude. So these are the things that form people's perspectives. They go to a particular place, they learn something, or maybe in the family they grew up, they learn something, and eventually they see that like, they see the pain people go through about a particular thing. For instance, social media right now is not the best place for you to learn marriage, because people have mostly negative narratives about marriage, which honestly is not true in some cases, or in many cases. And there are other many thousands of people enjoying their marriage that are not even vocal about it, or that are vocal about it but are not trendy enough. So all these subtle things inform our perspective about things, which form our mindset, and we want to bring out in every conversation or every relationship. So if it is not going that way, you think something is going wrong. You think that you're out of control. But being empathetic is understanding that the reason why I feel this way is because of this and this and this. And right now, this relationship is not the same. Or even if the relationship is the same, it is now a different season. It is now a different perspective. It is now, we are now changed. That is why some couple will say things like, when we were dating, it was not like this. Seasons have changed, but you did not know it. When we were dating, he used to take me out. He would take me to dinner. He would buy this and that. We go out every weekend. We have time together. We spend so much. We do this and that. We buy clothes. He buys my shoes and all of that. But right now, he has school fees to pay. He has rent to pay. He's probably even running some courses to advance in his career. Groceries are there. Children are there to look after. There is no time and no enough resource to do things with the intensity that he used to do it before. But if you don't see it, probably you grew up in an environment where probably there was domestic abuse or abandonment or all sorts. You start thinking it's becoming like your dad, which is not right, which you have not seen what is actually happening at the moment compared to what informed your perspective. So when emotions are raging up, when things, emotions are coming up, your head is all over the place, you are having a mistrust situation, you don't know what is happening to this man, or to this friend, or to this woman, or whatever. Take a pause. Forget about yourself at that moment. What is the journey? Why is this person? Sometimes we might not even understand by just observing. You need to ask questions. Like, okay, let's even forget about the matter on ground. Why do you think like this? Or why do you think we should do this right now? We don't have enough for this, but you're asking us to go into another thing. Why do you think? Let them express themselves so that you can see from a broader perspective of where they're coming from. Empathy is such an underrated and underexplained word that I feel like if we can just have enough of it, maybe not enough, maybe half more of what we think we have. Because at that point when my friend was talking to me, I realized that a particular thing I've been struggling with was just because I did not have empathy. Or maybe I thought I had it, but I wasn't practicing it in respect to that situation. Empathy is such a big word. I feel like I should just I should continue. But with all these things I've said, with your goals in life, some of us, we so much hate our leaders that the words that we bash out, do you even know what it means to be a leader? Have you even led yourself personally? With your goals, I want to wake up at this time, I want to say my prayers 10 minutes, I want to do this one. Have you been consistent with even leading yourself to a particular goal? You have set your weight loss journey. How many times have you walked out? Now, let's talk about leading different sets of people from different races, tribes, and culture. How to handle resources, emotional intelligence, social intelligence, appearance. Some of us cannot even appear before a crowd of 20. Now imagine a whole leader that is expected to represent a large number of people. If we can only bring out empathy. And for leaders that probably think they can just, abuse their fellows or their followers. Let me put it that way. People that, I can just throw things around. Those bosses that they lack empathy when it comes to time management. All they know is, after all, I'm paying you. You need to also have empathy. Everybody in every position you hold, in any relationship you have, we all need empathy, and we need to be empathetic in the way we relate with other people. Because I think this is the only way by which we can grow, by which we can be better at our relationships, by which other people can be comfortable being around us, expressing themselves to us, because they know it's not just about us, and it's not just about, we putting our foot on the ground and what's the word? putting our foot on the ground and just, having our ways. They know we are willing to see from another person's perspective and understand with them, not only putting yourself in the person's shoes, like, oh yeah, I know probably it's that painful, but let's go through that journey with them. How did they arrive at this point? How did they get here? So when you know how they got there, it is easy for you to move from where they are to where both of you can arrive at a common goal, at a common point. They can meet you halfway, you can meet them halfway, or probably somebody is willing to give up something just for the other person at that point, if that is all that is needed. Because sometimes the other person might even actually be right, whereas you are wrong. Active listening. Listening with an open mind. Listening with, an open mind. Maturity, adulthood is a lot of work to do. It's a lot of maturing to mature, if there's anything like that. A lot of refining process for our minds to go through. But it takes work. It takes the ability to actually want to do these things. Empathy. Empathy is such a big word. And I think everybody should learn it. Like the way you learn your maths, the way you learn your multiplication times table, the way you learn every other thing that you do, go and learn empathy. Go and learn how to be, how to be conscious of another person in words and actions, and in mindset. Because we only focus on the words and actions sometimes, we don't focus on the mindset. Or somebody's asking, what is it? We are talking about empathy. We're talking about the big word empathy. Empathy. How to put yourself in people's shoes and understand their point of view. Understand where they are coming from. Understand why they are acting the way they are acting. Go through that journey. Go through the memory lane with them for you to be able to understand why they think the way they think, so that it's much easier that way for you to move on to what you want to achieve, for you to move on to what you want to do. So it is either probably somebody says, okay, let's give up this thing for this thing. Or the other person says, okay, it's okay for us to do everything together. This is very essential in marriages, in homes, in friendships, even at work. Wow. He has been on a journey now 4 years. Wow. That's awesome. That's awesome. I'm happy to hear somebody has a testimony or somebody has a good thing to say about, empathy. There's almost nothing you can achieve without being empathetic, especially when it comes to relating, even with yourself. Oh, bless. It's been tough. You'll get through, I know. Even with yourself, sometimes we remember some things that have happened with us in the past, and we so much do not like ourselves. We find it very difficult to forgive ourselves because you are not empathetic even with yourself. When you did what you did not know, or you did not know enough. Now you know enough. Let go. Forgive yourself. Sometimes you look at yourself and you're like, why would I even? We all have that moment. Like, why did I say what I said? I was angry. Why can't I control my anger? Why can't I do this? Why can't I, keep to my nutrition regimen? Why can't I work out? Why am I so fat? You say all sorts of things to yourself. Some people even go as far as, not liking their own skin color that you have no control over. Be empathetic with yourself. And like I said, sometimes when you know the journey that got you there in the first place, you will know that it is not just by, what you did, You'll be able to know how you got there, and you will be calmer with the way you put judgment on yourself or on the actions that you do. Oh, thank God I can even remember this, because I didn't even think about self. Being empathetic with yourself. When I did this thing, probably this was the reason why I did this. Yes, I know probably these are the things that I don't like or I condemn, in front of everybody. But give yourself grace. Forgive yourself. Because the more you hold on to the past, it's hard to move on. It's hard to become better. It's hard to get to where you want to go if you don't let go of the past. You need to let go. And it's high time to let go. It's high time. It's high time. That is all I want to share today. Teach without ugliness. Thank you so much for joining us and for your comments. Thank you so much for the things you have shared on this live video, and I know that it might be tough, but you will get through with your friends and family. Yeah. And for every other person that is listening as well, embarrassing yourself in front of brothers and sisters is easier to let go of being embarrassed by people. True, 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 true. Storms pass. Thank you so much for sharing. Storms pass. Yes, 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 yes. Moments renews things. Time will make, things water down. With time, you will outgrow some things and you'll be like, why did I even hold so much onto this thing? Why was I hungry about that? You allow yourself to experience the joy of growth. You are growing. You might not know, but you are growing. Your heart will be so enlarged that the little thing that you think mattered will become so insignificant that you'll be like, why did I hold on so much to this? Why was I thinking so much about this? But you can only grow, you can only allow your heart to be so large if you choose to pay attention to the growth that is happening on the inside of you. You are growing. You are getting better every day. But because you are holding on to the past, you think you are not growing. Let the past go. Let it go. Yes, you were in that relationship, you did all sort of, things that probably you have even condemned yourself. I understand, I know. It is hard. Probably you even have scars from it. But you can give yourself that grace. Be empathetic with yourself. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Teach without ugliness. Wow, this is so amazing. I'm going to look for, I don't know what your Facebook handle is. I'm going to look out for it. Thank you so much. Empathy is such an amazing thing that you can learn, and I'm so happy. It was just so much on my mind, I couldn't let go. I felt like I have to come and do a live video about this. This has been so good. I enjoy. In fact, this is one of like the live videos that I really enjoyed. Oh, Jojo's cut. I'm going to look out for it. I'm going to look out for it. So yeah, that is everything I really want to share. Thank you to everybody who has joined. I teach without ugliness. She's been I don't know, has been commenting and has just been, really into this. And I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much. And I pray that, your heart will heal and you'll be able to allow the growth that you really deserve, allow the joy and the love that you really deserve. Oh, thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you. All right, I will see you in the next one. Bye.